Okay, let's dive right in. If you're building a web application, one of the first and honestly most critical decisions you're going to make is about the tech you use. So today, we're breaking down why TypeScript isn't just a technical detail, it's actually a strategic business move.
I mean, this is the question, right? Every founder, every project owner, this is what you face at the very beginning. And it is a big one. This isn't about what's trendy, it's about what's going to make your project successful for the long haul. Because here's the thing, that one choice has these massive ripple effects. It directly impacts how reliable your app is for your users, how much it's going to cost you to maintain, and, maybe most importantly, whether it can actually grow with you in your vision. And that right there is where TypeScript comes into the picture. You see, it's not just some passing trend. It's become a true industry standard for one simple reason. It was built to solve these exact challenges: reliability, cost, and growth. So how does it do it? Is it magic? Not at all. TypeScript's power really comes down to three foundational pillars that completely change how we build solid modern applications. And those pillars are integrated quality, enduring clarity, and accelerated efficiency. Sounds a bit fancy, I know, but let's break down what each of these really means for you and your project. Okay, first up, quality. Now, the best way to think about this is like having a grammar and spell checker built right into your code editor. It catches mistakes and typos as you're writing, not after you've already shipped the product to your users. It finds errors before they can ever become a problem. And the impact of that? It's huge. When you're catching those common mistakes early, you're not just fixing bugs. You're building a way more stable product from day one. That translates to a better experience for your users and way fewer of those late-night, costly surprises to deal with after launch. Which brings us to pillar number 2, clarity. A project isn't just about launching. It's about being able to grow and adapt. TypeScript turns your code into what you could call living documentation. And the key part is that, unlike a Word doc, this documentation can never become outdated. So for you, this means your project is no longer some mysterious black box that only one developer understands. It becomes this clean, clear asset that's easy for anyone to maintain and build on. It's like a powerful insurance policy, protecting the long-term value of your investment. And finally, our third pillar, efficiency. Now, there's a common myth out there that TypeScript slows things down. But honestly, the opposite is true. It's a massive productivity lever. It unlocks these incredibly powerful tools for developers, like smart code suggestions that just pop up, making the whole process way smoother. And the business benefit here is super simple. Every hour your developer isn't spending on a wild goose chase for a bug is an hour they are spending building valuable features for your project. The result? You get your vision to market faster and with a lot more confidence. So those are the pillars: quality, clarity, efficiency. But let's get concrete. How does all this theory actually translate into real, measurable advantages for your business? Let's start with a hard number: 20%. So what on earth does this represent? Well, SNCC, a big name in app security, did the research. And they found that teams using TypeScript introduce about 20% fewer bugs into their code. And let's be real, fewer bugs directly means less time and less money spent on fixes. That's a direct hit to your bottom line, in a good way. Okay, what about scaling up? Just look at Figma, one of the biggest design tools on the planet. They moved their massive code base to TypeScript. And they said it gave them the confidence to evolve their product at a scale that would have been, and I quote, much riskier without it. And speaking of confidence, Lee Robinson from Vercel, that's the company behind the powerhouse framework Next.js, he just nails it. He says, TypeScript gives you confidence to ship faster. It's that simple. Confidence breeds speed. Now, I know what some people might say, but doesn't this add a little complexity at the very start? And that's a fair point, but it really requires us to move past that short-term thinking and look at the bigger picture. You see, it really comes down to two different ways of looking at it. The short-term view gets bogged down in that initial setup, but the strategic vision, it sees past that to the massive productivity gains and the long-term acceleration you get down the road. Because at the end of the day, the real issue isn't how complex the tool is. It's about the expertise of the person using it. In the hands of an experienced developer, TypeScript isn't a brake. It's an accelerator, right from day one. So let's bring it all home. This whole conversation is about building for the long term. The future health and success of your project truly depend on laying down a solid foundation right from the get-go. And that's why choosing TypeScript isn't just a technical choice. It is, plain and simple, a savvy business decision.
When you make this choice, you are actively deciding to build an application that is fundamentally more reliable, way less costly to maintain over its life, and totally ready to scale and grow right alongside your biggest ambitions. Which really just leaves us with one final important question to ask yourself about your own project. Is it being built to last, or is it just being built to launch? Because the foundation you choose today will absolutely determine that answer.